Matthew, the following quote is from the news article, or rather column, that I sent you before. And the reason that I am making an excerpt of that column was for the fun of it, to show you an example, as you well know, of literary interpretation. That is, can you discern what the writer...
Can you go upstairs?
Voltaire was a French Enlightenment writer, historian, and philosopher who died in 1778. He was an outspoken advocate of civil liberties and criticized philosophies of his time. Matthew, I'm not going to read this. I think you would do better to read it yourself. This is a definition of the Age of Enlightenment, of which Voltaire is a prominent figure. Can you discern what the writer was trying to say, what he intended to say, when he said these words, which have been apparently kept through time because the editor of the paper used them, right? Now, James, this particular lesson is not for you, except to say that Matthew is on a quest, and that quest is to reach a goal. And that goal is to score 1,600 on the SAT. I think you understand that. So, James, you also are on a quest, maybe whether you know it or not. Your quest is, in the next year, the 8th grade, to win the award for Best Math Student. And you are well on your way. But you won't get there unless that is your goal and you want to achieve it, right? So, James, to tie this into a story that you're well aware of, there is a story in your memory bank of a young man named Santiago who's on a quest. And he achieved his quest, not in the way that he intended, but he did achieve his goal and his quest, remember? So, Matthew, Mr. McGill was quoting Voltaire, and he said that Voltaire was right, or Voltaire was correct, when he said that, and by that he means when he wrote the many things that he wrote, right? When he said that the most powerful force that can be loosed in the world is what? What did he say? The most powerful force. Well, I'll quote that. So, Voltaire wrote an idea whose time has come. The reason, Matthew, that I'm picking out these words, that's 6 words, is because you have studied American history. I know you have, because we have some of the books around our house. Where did these ideas develop? In America, which was a colony, about a and as you remember, we said in the United States, or the colony of Great Britain, that all men are created equal and have the right to free themselves from tyranny, I guess, without quoting everything. Would you agree? You well know that. So, going back to Voltaire, an idea whose time has come. What idea? The idea that the colonies in the United States, rather Great Britain's colony, had a right. And do you know they got that idea from Voltaire? So should you be asked on a question, on an SAT, and I'm sure you've been asked a similar question, what is the relationship between those who founded the government of the United States of America and Voltaire? What is the link? How would you describe the link between what he said, the link between what the Frenchman said in France, and what the colony's leaders, Continental Congress, believed to be true? Was there a link? Did they get one of their ideas from Europe? How could you describe that? If you were asked, what is the relationship between these words of Voltaire, the relationship of the words of Voltaire and the Continental Congress? Can you describe his words and relate it to the battle for independence in the United States? If you had to write it out, could you do that?